The White House is getting more intense as the US elections are still 17 months away. The Republican field is crowded with accusations, insults, and even some false claims. Today, let me introduce you to Nikki Haley, a US politician of Indian origin who is running for the Republican nomination. It is essential to understand that pollution has a time lag. What we omit today may have consequences years later, maybe 10 or 20 years down the line. This is why experts emphasize historical pollutions. We must not solely rely on current data. If we look at the decades before, we see a different story. Since 1850, the US is responsible for 20% of all carbon dioxide emissions, while China accounts for 11%, Russia 7%, and Brazil 5%. So, what about India? India makes up just 3.4% of the total. The historical data tells a real story of pollution. The climate change we see around us is a result of historical pollution, and the United States holds a significant share of responsibility with 20% of emissions. Let's consider another data set. It's easier for countries with a smaller population to reduce emissions because they have fewer people. Let's look at the per capita data. Qatar leads the list with 37 tons of carbon dioxide per citizen. In comparison, the US emits around 15 tons per capita, while India emits just 1.9 tons. It's quite surprising for Nikki Haley to blame India when America's per capita emissions are 7 times higher. Even China has a better per capita emissions, around 7,000 tons. Most experts also talk about exported emissions. You often hear US officials talk about reducing pollution, but they achieve this by exporting manufacturing instead of building factories in US. This approach is fair just like in China. In fact, even India has been affected. One study found that multinational companies account for 20% of all emissions. So let's remember that one third of all pollution comes from America. When we put two and two together instead of pointing fingers, we need to collectively address the issue of pollution and work towards sustainable solutions. Blaming a single country won't solve the problem. Let's strive for a cleaner and greener future together. So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you found this information valuable, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content.